Just setting up here, guys. Hello. For anyone who's already in the chat, hello. How do I want to do this? Should I set up my screen now? You guys want to look at charts? What do you guys want to look at first? Got 2 viewers. What's up? Happy Monday, George. How are you doing? Okay, now it's working. Oh, nope. It's not. Sorry, I'm kind of talking to myself right now. I'm just trying to figure out how I want to set up the stream. And the chat box you guys cannot see, so let me fix that real quick. Yeah, I feel like it's been a couple weeks. I've been MIA for a while, guys. I got a little what do you call that? Writer's block, right? Yeah, I just yeah, I don't know. It was a little tough coming up with material for you guys. Okay, I think I messed up the visuals. Can you guys see the chat? Okay, cool. All right, it works. Thank you, Alexander, for hitting the like button. If you guys haven't already hit the like button, hit the like button. It gets the video out there. And we can just talk about investing and what's been happening in the markets recently. Some of these growth stocks look like they want to take off. Could they be dead bounces? You know, no one really knows. What's going on, Bobby? AMC. Nano Dimension, yeah. Nano Dimension, man. What's up, man? Bobby, not much is going on. Just trying to make some new material for y'all. Trying to provide some value. But yeah, I mean, things have been kind of boring on the markets. Like, it's not like it was last year, you know, where everything was just going up. Everything is just going sideways now. Like a little bit up and to the right, but mainly like sideways for the most part. What do you guys think about all the altcoins that have like dumped pretty heavily? Like some have actually dumped, you know, 90% plus. Like some of the lesser known ones. Yeah, those got hit really hard. Should I be looking at some charts? Yeah, Sensonics had a pretty good day, especially in the after hours. I was looking at that a second ago. Want some Heiken-Ashi. Make it a little easier to see. I mean, it's trending up. Can it, you know, sustain? I mean, someone might say, you know, this is a shoulder, head, and really delayed shoulder. Or this is the shoulder, head, shoulder. Right here. It's really hard to say, but, you know, we just got to wait it out. But all the fundamentals are pointing for Sensonics up and to the right still. Close this. What do you guys want to talk about? For the guys that are, for those of you in here right now, what do you guys want to talk about? Here. Ooh, I can make polls. Interesting. Is the bull market over? I mean, it's been pretty, it seemed over, but is it like over for, you know what? Let's see how you guys feel about it. So if I give you a poll, what happens? Do you guys see it on screen? How does that work? Russell 3000. Oh yeah. I mean, it being added to the Russell 3000 would, I think, allow more funds to start purchasing some Sensonic stock, because there's, I mean, if it's added to an index, it's given some form of credibility. But I mean, the thing is, I think with the Russell 3000, their stocks are added and removed, like kind of similar to the S&P 500. You know how they can replace stocks. I think it looks good, but I don't think it's like gonna make Sensonics do well, if that makes sense. It's just gonna probably give a little bit more exposure, maybe some more buying just because it's a part of it. But you know, I don't think it means everything for them, for Sensonics. They actually had a press release today that I had popped up too. Hold on, let me expand this chat so I could actually see more of what you guys are saying. Sorry. Okay, we got Neo. What about Neo? AMC. Officially in. Yeah, so let me pull up this. See, June 28th, 2021. Sensonics Holdings. Let me skip through the fluff right here. Today announced further presentation of PROMISE study data evaluating the next generation Eversense CGM system at the American Diabetes Association virtual 81st annual scientific sessions. This is like the what do they call it? The Super Bowl of diabetes conventions. Like, someone called it something I saw. Let me... What is it called? Diabetes? Is that what it was called? I think it's this guy.
Be covered here, but let me... I could not be more excited to be here for...
Can you guys hear that?
81st scientific session. This is literally the Super Bowl of diabetes. This is the most important diabetes meeting in the world, and we're thrilled to be kicking this off.
So Sensonics is going to be presenting their info here at this meeting.
That is going to be covered here, but let me just mention a few things. One is this year is the 100th anniversary of the discovery of insulin, a groundbreaking discovery that has literally saved the lives of millions of people. We will have a series of special presentations on this, culminating Saturday evening at 7 p.m. Eastern, where we'll look at the amazing story of discovery that led to this breakthrough, and incredible stories like it was a medical student.
Are they gonna talk about Sensonics? So I already looked at the whatchamacallit. What do you call it? What is it called? What is it called? What is it called? Wow, I lost my train of thought. About Sensonics. Oh my gosh, this is bad. I lost my train of thought about Sensonics. What was I looking at? Oh yeah, the nope. I actually forgot what I was gonna say about Sensonics. I think it had to do with their wow, you guys just saw me, like, my short-term memory just filtered that out completely. It's because I'm thinking about so much crap at once. And my dog started barking. Really distracting. Damn it. I feel like it was important too. You know, if I forgot that easy, it must have not been that important. But pretty much, as far as Sensonics goes, we're just waiting on approval still. But I think that the markets are going to slowly price in this approval before it happens. And remember, you know, even good news is, you know, sometimes bad just because they manipulate the markets, and you know the whales will sell on good news because they know that everyone's anticipating it. So that's also something to consider, you know. But holy crap, I had a huge brain fart a second ago. Like, I feel like I was going to say something really important about that video that I just saw, but it's gone. She gone. That idea, she gone. Selling calls on Neo. When you sell calls, you reduce your cost basis, but just know that if you sell calls, I had this experience with Sensonics literally the last week. If you sell calls, you are stuck to the price that you sold it at. So you have to keep that in mind. Like, so I sold calls on Sensonics at $2.50 because I needed some money up front. And because of that, I capped my upside. So pretty much I missed out on close to $1.50 per share of all of the shares that I had. So I bought back maybe 5 of the call options, but I had like 25 left still. So I had to, I had my shares called away from me, which kind of sucks. I bought back as much as I could, but the rest got pulled away. So I mean, yeah, you lower your cost basis, but you reduce your upside if it, you know, goes parabolic in like, you know, within the month, within expiration. So yeah, sell calls. If you're gonna sell calls, go like a month out. But I don't like going out too far. If you're in more liquid stocks too, you know, with expirations every few days, I mean, even those, you can collect some premiums, and there's a chance you'll make some money on it. But you know, you cap your upside. Remember that. Wow, 360. Yeah, the 360-day test, that is the one that's going to be super promising for Sensonics. Like I said in the last video, they had both implants in their arms. Or they had 2 implants, one 80-day test in one arm, and then they had another, I think, 180-day, but they left it for a year. So they left it in that arm. That's a long-term catalyst. Actively even, I can't spell. Top 3 stocks in my portfolio. Bitcoin, does that count as a stock? Not really. Bitcoin's my largest holding right now. Nano Dimension and Sensonics are my other one. I'm on standby with Jumia. Jumia is like a really good, potentially huge company that I'm looking at right now. Jumia, I don't know, it just sticks out to me. I feel like everyone's sleeping on Africa because, I mean, I don't mean to be like disrespectful or anything, but like people imagine Africa just being like not modern at all. Like, you know, like desert and, you know, what do you call it? Like wildlife lines and all that crap. You know, it's kind of bad, but I mean, there's modern areas in Africa that would really benefit from, you know, e-commerce like Jumia, like Amazon pretty much. But Amazon doesn't want to touch it, but Jumia does. So if they can fix that, it's potentially a big company. So yeah, that's top 3. Roku's going to be huge, except I don't know exactly what their competitive advantage is besides being first to everything. You know what I mean? Yeah. But yeah, those are, I mean, I'm heavy on those. Like, I don't have any ETFs. I primarily stock pick. Okay, I don't have any like ETFs or anything like that. If I was managing like $1 million, okay, I would probably have some exposure to ETFs just for the beta of the portfolio, because if you're stock picking only with, $1 million, you're going to fluctuate, a lot. So really, for volatility's sake, I'd probably be a little bit less exposed to single growth stocks, but I'd still be heavily exposed. Like, again, probably like 10-15% ETFs, and then stock pick the rest still. Like what Warren Buffett said, you want to, at least in the realm of, sub, $10 million range, you can really take some heavier bets and come out on the other side. Come out good on the other side. Sorry, I'm reading comments. Okay, Dubu, hey man, been watching you since the beginning of Nano Dimension. Started looking at Sensonics. What do you think? Its potential and the different time frames for Sensonics. Right now, the current time frames are 180-day approval, and then some feedback on the current 365-day version, and then they get the. I think with the FDA it works like they get some kind of pre-approval to allow them to even start studying it, and then they present the information from the next study. So I think they're getting like pre-approval for the 365-day version after this 180-day gets approved, if that makes sense. Sold calls on ARK, made a profit, missed out on $400. Yeah, dude. I missed out on thousands of dollars because of that, but it's part of the game. It's the risk that I took, and I have to be okay with it. So that's just how it be sometimes. Yeah. Jumia, African Amazon. Do you have any thoughts on SoFi? Not really. I have an account with them. I like the product, but I think they're like really limited to what they can do. Like, I don't know, it's not really exciting or anything. Like what are they doing exactly that no other company could just like come in and say, hey, like, we're going to help you get out of debt and other things. It's just user friendly, and it's backed by Chamath Palihapitiya. So, I mean, I don't think it's bad. I don't think it's a bad company. I haven't looked at their financials or anything really, but it's they're in banking. I hope they get more heavily involved in Bitcoin. From 7 to 50 or whatever back to 7. Yeah, Jumia is like $30 right now. It's like a 30-something stock, like 32. Nigeria's a developed nation. People are just ignorant. Yeah, exactly. So where Jumia can really excel is where they are not really developed in Africa. So if they can figure out all the areas that are not developed, like places that don't really have addresses, and having good package, not a lot of turnover in packages, so not a lot of people not picking up packages, basically, I think that's it's going to be very good for them. Back into Sensonics and Nano for the long haul. Yeah, so I read an article recently on Nano Dimension that was saying that Nano Dimension is pretty much priced in already. Like, there's little alpha right now until they start having sales. So they have a lot of cash value, and they have some revenues coming from their own business before the acquisitions, and then they have revenues coming from 2 new acquisitions that they made. But besides that, they haven't grown organically yet. So with Nano Dimension, I think Sensonics, compared to Nano Dimension, if you're involved in both companies, I would expect Sensonics getting more. I would expect Sensonics being bought up in mass sooner than Nano Dimension, because Nano Dimension is probably going to take several more years. Like, I'm talking like 3-year time horizon about before we actually see some commercialization effort. With Sensonics, they pretty much have all the distribution channels already set because of Essentia, so they just have to, get that approval out, and then Essentia is going to be on top of that, distributing their stuff, their Eversense, and then if they can do that, they have to worry about training all the medical personnel to start, putting those things in the arm, and then that'll go out. But as far as Nano Dimension goes, Alpha is capped a bit right now, just because they still have kind of a long way to go. Like, they've made progress, but they still have a long way to go. But they also have a lot of cash to, they could take as long as they want. Like, Nano Dimension CEO Yoav Stern mentioned, the cash they have could last a decade if they really tried. But, who knows with all this inflation and things. So I would rather they do something with that cash now. If they're not going to be acquiring things or trying to expand commercially now, at least they can, do all that R&D and start showing us some crazy materials, crazy printing algorithms and things like that. Okay. Start talking to me in the comments, guys. Start leaving some chat so I have some juicy topics to talk about. Ask whatever you guys want. Or talk with each other, too. So you guys can... Because, I know you, the same guys that are in here in other chats or live streams that I've done, you guys always come back here. So you guys have probably seen each other. So don't be scared to talk to each other either. Africa is a giant market. Next earning call September. Nano, yeah. First quarter was lackluster, but again, it's all the COVID shenanigans, but it's going to hopefully lift before the year ends. That we start seeing, more than $2 million in a quarter, $3 million in a quarter for Nano. 9-day product, marketed very cool. Yeah, exactly. So as soon as they got that 180-day approval, they could start, pushing that out. Bullish on Ethereum. I'm not bearish or bullish. I'm just... See, the thing with Ethereum is, like, it has a lot of support, but if you're gonna... Like, it has its own application. Like, Ethereum doesn't really know exactly what it is yet, because they keep changing things in Ethereum. With Bitcoin, we already know what Bitcoin is going to do, what potential it has, because, it's been unchanged for like 12 years. With Ethereum, they keep changing stuff. Like, the current chain of Ethereum actually isn't even the original Ethereum. It's Ethereum Classic is what Ethereum used to be, but then they forked off. Now we have the Ethereum that we have now, and then they want to do the whole, like, proof of stake algorithm, and that's been untested so far. You have to lock up your Ethereum to even participate in the staking, and I don't know. There's just a lot of change. I wouldn't say I'm bearish on it, though. I think it still has room to grow. I think it's really important that Ethereum starts to figure out exactly how it's going to apply itself, and I think it would be in its best interest to incorporate Bitcoin somehow, some way. Good entries for Nano Dimension and Sensonics. Sensonics was trading under $2 for, several weeks. So this, if you've been watching my channel for a while, I had like this big green box below this purple line that I said if it dips below into this box, then it's like an optimal buying area. So far it was there a few times, but this was probably the best time to buy right here, at least for returns in dollars. But honestly, if you are willing to hold the company out and track them and, see positive breakthroughs in the company, and they're just, things are improving, you could buy it now. And then it drops, and then you buy some more to lower your cost basis, and then it goes down a little more. You could lower your cost basis again, or it goes up, and you might increase your cost basis, but now you have more of the asset that you want. Do you want to hold cash, or do you want to hold Sensonics? That's what you have to figure out. If you hold only cash and too much cash, though, you start to lose value because your purchasing power gets hit the longer you just hold your cash. I think now, pretty much. Now means yesterday, tomorrow, probably a month from now. But yeah. What's up, Michael? How's it going? It's been a while. You do the triathlons. MMAT. I've not looked at MMAT. Holding Nano Dimensions, Sensonics, AMC, and ATOS. Yeah. Do you hold those for... Do you have like Wall Street bets in mind whenever you put Nano Dimensions, Sensonics, and AMC in the same sentence together? Because, like, I really don't want Wall Street bets to take advantage of Sensonic shorts or Nano Dimension shorts, because I think that's going to push a lot of people out of the market. It'll put a bad light on the two stocks if they get squeezed. I mean, people will make some money, but remember, it's like a game. People are winning money because someone else lost money. So if you're making money, it's because someone else probably lost money. So, you know, a lot of people make money if they squeezed, but a lot of people lose money too. April next year, dude, how do I if I knew what was happening next year, I mean, maybe we'll double our money, who knows? But it's unlikely because all of that bull, you know, doubling, tripling of your money, all that portfolio growth happened last year, I think. Like the huge, substantial portfolio growth happened last year. It was that K-shaped recovery, right? During COVID. If you had assets, you got rich last year. And if you were a frontline worker but had no investments, you technically got a little poorer, at least for what you're trading time for the wage that you're receiving or salary. It's really kind of jacked up, but that's how it worked last year. Thoughts on ATOS? I have no idea. What is that? ATOS. Training for next year? Man, you must have a superhuman heart, Michael. Therapeutics. What do I think about ATOS stock? Well, it's going up, and that's it. I don't know anything else. It's just going up. Why? Why is it going up? You know what? Okay, we're going from the beginning of the year, which is like right around here. So cross January this year, and it just has gone parabolic. It was like $2. It pulled a Nano Dimension. So it made a high. I would not chase this at all. I'm just telling you now. If you don't know anything about them, don't chase them. That's for sure. Like, there's always going to be cycles. So if it goes up like this, it's going to come back down at some point. Stocks don't just, you know, go up. I mean, they might seem like they do, but they don't just go up. Okay, so this support and resistance I have here, this dashed line is like the middle and between these two lines. Resistance. Oh, no, you're good, Shoeless. It's just, you know, it's an answer, you know. What else can I tell you? But yeah, that's how I feel about that right now. 10-year treasuries. I forgot where I read this, but I think this was some article. Don't remember exactly what it was. So if there's inflation, right? And things are getting more expensive, but bond yields keep falling. Well, why is that? If everything is getting more expensive, and inflation is going, you would expect them to increase bond yields so that it can slow the pace of inflation. But if everything's inflating, then why are bond yields still dropping? Well, the answer to that, allegedly, is money printing. Because if they can keep buying the bonds, then they can keep forcing the price up because there's so much more buying pressure because they're just printing money and buying those securities, essentially. It's a lot more complicated than that, but that was a very simply put explanation that I came across, and it sounds like it makes sense. But again, it's always more complicated than that, than like how it seems on the surface. I learned about the repo markets. There's a channel I came across yesterday. This guy explained it really well. You know what? Let me find this guy's channel real quick. Repo markets. Yeah. Heresy Financial. If you guys are curious about where was it? The repo, which one did I watch? The Fed just lit the fuse for a liquidity crisis. I would watch this video. Very insightful. He really explains how to like understand kind of what's happening in the repo market. So yeah, definitely check that out. I really liked this video. So if you guys want to look at that, I just left a link here for you guys to look at. And say that John Paul Investing sent you. But yeah. Bond yields matter though, remember. Like looking at the 10-year, it is indicative. So, I mean, bond yields are still falling. It's still intact for the market to move higher. It's a company working on breast cancer treatment and COVID nasal spray. Rock solid fundamentally, but I agree with you. It should come back down now. The spike looks very... Yeah, right? Exactly. So, I... Like, in the like in the news, when you look up stocks, like I did earlier, it's like... I saw one headline that really stuck out to me. I think it's on the second page. Like, something's going to outperform Doge or something. Like, everyone just wants to find the next, you know... cyclical momentum stock, but really that's all it is there's all these momentum trades, but nothing fundamentally really is going to change, you know, in a few weeks. So it's really all psychological trading that's happening, but you want to be investing if you're not involved in these like cyclical momentum trades. Like, I'll tell you straight up, like, Nano Dimensions and Sonics are probably going to be, like, they'll go up a little bit, but they're going to be pretty boring for a while. And everyone's going to look for the next best thing, and everyone's going to sell off their Nano Dimensions and Sonics. Maybe. If they can't, you know, sit through it. You know what I mean? Like, it's not, like, remember, there's fear and greed still. You know, people want to make money, but they don't want to lose money. So people are in and out. Thoughts on Palantir? Every time I hear Palantir, I imagine Minority Report. Like the, you know, that movie with Tom Cruise and who else is in that movie? I mean, Tom Cruise is the protagonist. So, yeah, it was a cool movie. Pretty much, Palantir has a bunch of data analytical tools where they can just connect a bunch of points of data. As far as I remember, they have like something called Gotham, and like one's for like business to business, or I don't remember exactly what they do. You can't hear me? Really? What was I gonna say? Palantir, it's a software company, so they're going to have high margins. Probably they're going to work with a lot of government, as they have a lot of government contracts. The sky's the limit. They can scale huge because they're software. So a lot of alpha potential, but again, it just has to be calculated. You have to see what exactly they have. That's product market fit, as they say. I mean, they could work with, government agencies and policing and things like that. I mean, I don't think Palantir's bad. I just don't know enough about them. That's all. Have 4 times the number of shares as Dexcom is a problem. Not really. Not so much, as long as it's I would be looking at market cap instead of just the number of shares outstanding. Yeah, I would just look at market cap. They have a bunch of shares. They might do some kind of reverse split, maybe. I mean, I don't know the likelihood of that, but if they feel like they have too many shares, the number of shares really is just a psychological thing. So if there's 100 pieces to a pie and 10 pieces to a pie, but they're both still one pie, if you have 10 pieces out of the 100-piece pie and 1 piece out of the 10-piece pie, it's the same thing, It's like psychological. Some people want to pay more, some people want to pay less. But you have partial shares now, so I think market cap really is what matters. I don't think the shares outstanding really has much impact at all. So far, is the bull market over for the remainder of 2021? 76% of you think not. Okay, yeah, I'm on the same boat. I don't think it's done entirely. I don't think it's going to be as exciting as it was last year, though. But I could be wrong. We'll see. But that is out of 33 votes. So, 3/4 of you said that you think it is not over yet. So that's what, like 24 of you? 24 and a quarter of someone. So like 24 people and like a leg said no. And then the other leg and 3 arms and the other, what is that? Like, what is that? 8 people? Yeah. Has anyone ever been on Bitcoin Twitter? It's very interesting. And, I mean, me owning Bitcoin, it's very insightful for all the things that are happening in the Bitcoin community. Nigeria has the potential to a serious Bitcoin mining country. Over 65% of all associated gas, which is gas that's produced with crude oil when they take it out of the ground, because remember, they don't just pull oil out of the ground. It's oil, water, and gas. Within the country gets flared. So that means 24 million cubic feet of gas get flared annually. Enough gas to power 250 megawatts continuously day by day. And these are natural gas flares, as you guys can see if you've ever seen one. It's a lot of gas. So they want to use this gas to start powering Bitcoin mines, which I thought is the most fascinating thing, which is something I've been actively working on to get going, because Bitcoin mining on natural gas, I think, is super interesting to me. Like, taking any stranded source of energy, and you could bring it to market with internet connection because of Bitcoin. It's the most insane thing to me. Like, if you find a river in the middle of nowhere and you want to live a very, like, low-key lifestyle, you could find a way to power a generator with that little river and bring the Bitcoin to market. You could sell it, or you could just hoard your Bitcoin. Like, it's crazy. Bionanogenomics, don't know much about bionanogenomics. I just know that they are doing something with some kind of like gene mapping thing that they have. But yeah, I don't really know too much about Bingo. Bit River Data Center in Serbia is attracting Bitcoin miners with cheap green power. The center provides carbon dioxide-free power, internet connection, and maintenance services to an international network of clients looking to mine Bitcoin. Volcanic Bitcoin mining also is something that was very intriguing to me. I like Bitcoin better. And by better, I mean like a lot. Like 99.9999999% Bitcoin. Honestly, 100% Bitcoin. Screw it. I wouldn't really mess with Ethereum yet. You can make some money, but again, it's kind of more of a game on the Ethereum side. Bitcoin, we know exactly what's happening. PayPal raised its fee on sellers, so PayPal will charge sellers 3.49% plus 49 cents to process transactions made through its proprietary products. In the past, PayPal charged sellers 2.9% and 30 cents. So they raised the fees substantially. That is a lot. 19 cents is a lot. When you're talking about like millions of transactions a second, like that's insane. The stock over time will break last side. Be patient. I know everything about it. Best. Yep, I think so too, DL. You just gotta wait and let them do their thing. You gotta let them, prosper. You can't force them to do good in, a time that fits, your time horizon. Like, you have to let them do their thing. And, you have to accommodate for that. At least if you want to be involved in the growth. Let's see if there's anything else interesting here. Bitcoin ATMs are being installed across El Salvador in shopping centers and gas stations. So this is how they're going to bring it to the public markets there, besides the airdrop that the government's giving everyone. I think it's like every citizen gets $30 in Bitcoin in El Salvador. Accepting Bitcoin for tickets and merchandise via Lightning for the NBA. Interesting. Six-figure Bitcoin 2021. What do you guys think about Bitcoin hitting 100,000 this year? I don't know about this year, but I think it'll hit 100,000. I just don't know about this year, Like, I don't want to rush anything, Anytime, Michael. I appreciate you stopping by, man. Have a good day, and I will see you in the next stream. You buy gold. This is Willy Woo on Twitter. You buy gold if you're a pessimist. It's the doomsday safe haven of an old generation. You buy Bitcoin if you're an optimist. It's the investment choice of a new generation in their future. Optimists have always won in the long arc of time. The dollar has lost itself. Gold has traded sideways for the most part. Bills, bonds, and stocks. Bills are very short-term bonds, essentially. Interesting. I think so. I think there will be another South American country adopting Bitcoin in some fashion. Let me refresh the... It's going to be chilling. Markets are about to close. Or they actually did close. Trending, yeah. Wall Street bets. Let's see what they have to say right now. By all means, do not listen to anything I'm about to talk about with Wall Street bets, because you really are playing with fire when you're on this page. So don't take any of these, please. Some dude did $250,000 worth of wish calls. Oh my gosh. This dude is nuts. Or maybe he's a genius. Who knows? Oh my goodness. Like this, remember guys, this book value right here, this can literally go to 0. And he got January 21st of next year calls. So he's got 6 months from now to hope that this does not go to 0. Basically. Yeah, nuts. Let's see what other crazy bets people got going. What do I think of John McAfee? Oh, I don't really know what happened there. I just know he was like a libertarian kind of guy. That's it. That's all I know. And he made the antivirus. I don't know anything about him. I think... Wait, did he advocate for Bitcoin? Maybe he did. That sounds about right. Somewhere like Venezuela, where inflation is rampant, they might go for Bitcoin. They might go for Bitcoin, but I think right now it is illegal to mine Bitcoin in Venezuela. Like, if Venezuela, you could technically get around using the dollar if you adopted Bitcoin. So if they decided to adopt Bitcoin, I mean, I think that if they adopted Bitcoin before any of the major countries, major governments adopted Bitcoin, that they would, I think there would be some kind of collective effort to stop Bitcoin if Venezuela was on it first. But I don't think that effort would really work. But, you know, Venezuela could use Bitcoin to get around any other sanctions, basically. So North Korea, Venezuela, they could use Bitcoin to get around sanctions. But the thing is, remember, everything is traceable on Bitcoin if you have like an IP address tied to it. So it really depends on how anonymous they want to keep it also. But Bitcoin is anonymous to a degree, but it's not as anonymous as you think it is. Got 36 votes on the poll now. 75% of you are still confident in the markets. I'm about to close the poll here in a second. So any last votes, go ahead and vote. I'm going to close the poll. I think the next ones to adopt Bitcoin might be like Paraguay. I don't know why I say it like that. Paraguay. One of the more... Who was... Man, there was like a list of countries down there like... Why did I say Paraguay? I think they are the main ones. Next. But just think some other South American country. I don't think Cuba. Not yet, at least. BlackBerry. I bought this, so you should buy it too. And that's the only reason you should buy it, is because I bought it, so you should buy it too. Yeah. This is dangerous, guys. Dude got 3,000 call options in a Workhorse. Expiring when? Oh, these aren't even options. He actually bought the shares. Okay. Why though? Yeah, look at this squeeze. Holy crap. Imagine chasing this and you bought it here. Holy crap. See how irrelevant some of these... Well, actually, it's not that irrelevant because this is where it bounced. With a grain of salt, guys. Advocate of blockchain, yeah, it's libertarian, so probably wants decentralization, you know. Okay, guys, I'm gonna get off in a few minutes. It's already it's about to be an hour, so any questions you guys have, go ahead and ask me so I can you know, address them, and we can, you know, have some meaningful conversation for the last few minutes. I mean, this is all with meaning, guys. And sometimes I just don't know what to say because I feel like it gets really quiet on these live streams. And the thing is, I can't have music playing either. I feel like if I had music playing, then I would get like copyright struck immediately or something. So, yeah. Libertarianism is why our government is as it is now. Texas, like, as a place to live? Oh, Texas is pretty nice. I mean, besides it being very humid and a lot of, you know, city traffic like any other city, I mean, I like Texas. But I've lived here my whole life, so it's very, I guess I would be a little biased to say I prefer Texas because I've always lived here. But, I mean, Texas is nice. Just everything's damn far. Like, you want to do anything, like, you want to go, like, go to McDonald's, like, for example, like, my neighborhood, it's like a 5-minute drive just to get out of this damn place. So, that's, you know, for some people, 5 minutes will get you to, like, the other side of town, pretty much, you know? So, yeah, I mean, it's nice. It's been a little, like, where I am in Houston, it's the weather is all over the place. We have very cold days, or at least very cold in Houston terms. You know, it's humid as hell some days. We have a ton of rain, very sunny days. We have sunny days where it rains. We have, what would the opposite of that be? We have rainy days when it's sunny. No, that's the same. Yeah, pretty much I like it. There's a lot of opportunity in Texas. You want opportunities? Texas is a good place. A very friendly business. What's the word that I'm looking for? Friendly business legislature. That doesn't sound right. There's just incentives here for business. That's it. So, good place to come. 70%. All right, I'm going to close the poll now. Okay. Does anyone else have anything else to add to that? Because I know some of you might be on your way home, just chilling, listening to my stream. And I appreciate that. I wish there was like some kind of voice interaction where you guys could like opt in to get on a mic and just like talk to me here. That'd be really cool. 2021. So, end of the poll, we had 40 votes on the poll. 69% of you said no, the bull market's not over for the year, and 31% said yes. So we'll see where that goes. We've still got 5 full months of the year. Yeah, exactly. There's a whole lot of energy. This is the energy capital, pretty much, guys. Is Texas. That's where all the Bitcoin mining is expected to come to, is here. But anyways, does anyone else have anything else? Because I'm about to close the stream off here in like a few seconds. Pretty soon. I need a haircut. I don't like what's going on. I wish I could play music in the background because it gets too quiet, but I don't want to get copyright struck. Anyone who knows about that, please let me know. So I got 16 viewers in here still, 18. All right, guys. Well, I'm going to close off the stream. It was a pleasure having everyone here for the last hour. If you guys want to be notified when I make streams like this in the future, go ahead and hit the subscribe button. I talk about a lot of Sensonics and Nano Dimension, but I will talk about other stocks that have bright prospects for them, have huge growth potential, because that's what we're all about here. We want to hold very scarce growing assets that we could find, because we don't believe holding cash. You should hold very limited cash and try to acquire as many desirables as you can. So that is it for this video, guys. If you guys want to stick around for another live stream, just go ahead and subscribe. If you like this one, go ahead and hit that like button, and I will see you guys in the next